Good morning, lovely Wild Hearts. It's Lisa here. I am coming at you with my Cozy Witch Tarot deck, which was a birthday present from last week. And we're going to go through the deck and see if we can get you some guided, intuitive messages for this week. So let's begin. Oh, big guns. All the energy feels big this week. People are scared of the Tower card in the tarot. The Tower is when Spirit comes in and decides that it's going to shake things up for you because things need to change. You're stuck in your comfort zone. For me, this week feels different because I'm starting the week with no clients in the diary, and that is a first time in a long time. And I'm not scared of that because I can feel that change is coming in. I also know that today is the first day of the Global HSP Summit. So if you're a highly sensitive person, be sure to register for that. Go over to globalhspsummit.com and register your details. I feel like this is going to bring in a different energy for me. I think there's been over 1,000 people that have signed up, and that's exciting because that's 1,000 new people that are going to come into my world. But if we look at this young girl who's looking out the window, she's watching that tree house in the tree burn down. So I feel like in the Tower card on the traditional tarot deck, there's people like falling out of the tower because it's on fire. They're like jumping out of the tower. I think Twin Towers when I think of that, because they're trying to save themselves. But in this situation, she's actually looking out the window. So it feels like there's some distance between you and the thing that is falling down around your ears. And Spirit is saying, let it fall. Let it fall. Let it crumble. It's not for you. What do you see when you look at that card? Notice what colours you're drawn to. I'm looking that behind the tower, can you see that through the clouds, it looks like the sun is trying to poke through? So when all that is burnt to the ground, then the sun will shine again. And you have to let go and let that happen. Now you can pay attention to it and watch it burn if you want. My advice would be to sit with your feelings and notice what comes up for you. When, for me, a business that I've spent years building, watching it burn to the ground. Wasn't it Robbie Williams that said when he saw his wife give birth to a baby, he was up the business end and he said it's like watching your favourite pub burn down. That's what that's reminding me of. Maybe it is like watching my favourite pub burn down. I just think it's like when you've been in a relationship and even though you know it's toxic and it's not for you, you cling on to the fact that you've invested so much time and energy in it, and it's painful to let go of it. And it's also scary because you're like, what's next? Well, let's see what's next. Let's pull the next card. What have we got next? Oh, it's reversed. Okay, I'm going to put it up the right way and then we'll look at it as reversed. Ace of Swords. Look at you. You're bursting with sparkling new ideas. Yeah, now it's reversed. So actually that energy that needs to burn down is blocking your creativity, your ideas. It's not in alignment with who you are. Ace of Swords is the card of truth. Yeah, it's based on denial is what I want to say. So a lot of the people that I have worked with in the past, in some element of their life, they're in denial. And that's not a judgment because I've been in denial about areas of my life. Denial is a self-protective coping strategy. And we use it because it's so painful for us to face the truth. And watching my business burn to the ground, the painful truth of that is that business was based on a trauma response. It was my inner child trying to fix my family and learning the lesson that some people don't think they need to be fixed. And most people don't want to be fixed. They just want to be heard and known and listened to and sat with while they're in pain. And the fixing is not for me to do. And that's interesting, isn't it? What do you see when you look at that card? That sword of truth is not very big. In the tarot, it's a massive sword, but it's almost like from little acorns, oak trees grow. Like that grain of truth, that sparkle of truth doesn't need to be massive, but you need to tell the truth to yourself. And if you're in denial, you'll be lying to yourself about certain things, or you'll be denying them or dismissing them or minimizing them, because to look at them would cause you too much pain and too much disruption to your life. There you go, and we're back here again, and that's why Spirit is sending in this tower moment to say you would stay in that treehouse all day long, stuck, and you would not move. So we're moving you out of it. It's time for you to move out of it, because we need to unblock your creative gifts. We need you to face the truth so that you can move forward, because you can't make change in your life without awareness. And in order to have awareness, you need to tell the truth to yourself. Right, let's just pull one more. What else have we got in here today? Oh, 7 of Wands. Witches should hold other witches accountable. So this card is giving me blamey vibes. When we blame other people for our situation, we can't take responsibility and move forward. But also it's making me think about my work, where you can't move forward if you don't take responsibility for your own life, if you don't acknowledge, again, if you're not accountable for what's not working, if you're pointing the finger and saying, it's because of this, and it's because of that, and it's because of the other. So I've just said to you, it's because of a trauma response. That's not an excuse, that's an understanding that's helping me unravel it so that I can move forward. So understanding and unraveling and looking at the why and how helps, but the only person is responsible for us, because we make certain choices, and the choices we make put us in this situation. That being said, if you're healing from childhood trauma, you didn't have choices when you were a child, and you were put in terrible situations that you should never have been put in, and that wasn't your fault. But it's separating yourself out from, that was me as a child, and now this is me as an adult, and I can take responsibility and be accountable, and know that actually the healing is all down to me. The decisions are all down to me. And your inner child might hate that. They might go, that's not fair. Why am I in this situation? But have compassion for her, because she's every right to feel like that. Oh, let's do one more. I do like this deck. It's really lovely. It's just a totally different take on the... There you go. 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups is the card of coming together, but in this instance I think it's the parts of you coming together and the parts of me coming together. Some people are like the pumpkin to your spice. But it's about being in alignment with yourself when the fragmented parts of you, when you're healing, come together. They're sat in that lovely field of pumpkins, and behind them is the ocean, and water always represents emotion for me. So it's like you can't integrate those parts of yourself if you don't tell the truth, if you don't face up to the reality that you're in now. Stop living in your head. Hold yourself accountable. This is quite a tough reading this morning. And acknowledge how you feel, because the feelings... What I noticed last night when I was dropping off to sleep is a couple of things happened at the weekend that normally would have made me feel powerless and sad. But what I noticed was an anger rising up inside of me. And then that's healthy, righteous anger that says, hey, hang on a minute, we need some boundaries here. This is not right. So, yeah, notice how you're feeling, because that anger then can be channeled into change, can't it? Telling a little story here, aren't we? Let's keep going. It's great. Oh, look at her half hanging out the window. That reminds me of when I was a kid. Well, not a kid, but a teenager. I used to smoke in my bedroom. My parents could smell it, because cigarettes stink, don't they? But I used to hang out my bedroom window and smoke. Sit on the windowsill and smoke. Oh, I'm so glad I don't smoke anymore. She's got a candle in her hand. Knight of Wands. Sometimes you have to be willing to bend the rules a little. So in order to make these changes, you're going to have to be a bit unorthodox and not do things by the book, perhaps. I'm hearing in my head, do it my way, Frank Sinatra. If you're a wild heart or an empath or highly sensitive, don't be afraid to do things differently. Don't be afraid to shine your light. Oh, see, she's holding that candle. To shine your light. And is that a fox on her jumper? Yeah. To think on your feet, to take a different approach, to do things differently. Don't be afraid to do that. What comes up for you when you look at that card? I'm also, for me personally, looking at that and thinking you need to get out there, Lisa, and find your people. You haven't met your tribe yet. You haven't met your people. And they're out there. But like, you got one bum cheek on the windowsill and one bum cheek outside. Get outside, get out there, live your life. Get out there and find them. I love it, I love it. Yeah, look, there they are, there are your people. A place to hang your witch hat. 4 of Wands. Family is whoever makes you feel the most safe and comfortable being you. Yeah, family isn't always where we come from. It isn't always blood. Isn't that great? That's reminding me last week of my birthday. So it was my 50th birthday last week, and I was taken out for lunch by my niece and sister to one of my favourite cafes in the countryside where they filmed The Holiday. It's called Sheer in Surrey. It's a cute little town, and a really nice cafe that we go to there, and had lunch. Look, there's my niece. And they did get me, well, we had double millionaire's shortbread with peanut butter, and they put a candle in the middle of it, and we said make a wish. And when we were kids and we had to make a wish, we were taught don't say the wish out loud, don't say the wish out loud when you blow the candle out, because it's a secret. But now with the law of attraction, it's like, say the wish out loud so the universe can hear what you want. And I did make my wish out loud. So what are you wishing today? But that is a real card of celebration, isn't it? And I felt rich in health and love and happiness and appreciation last Wednesday for my birthday. Richness is not always about what your bank account says. And your bank account doesn't define your worth anyway, does it? Money's just an energy. That's the card of the devil in the tarot. Toxic wishes. Be cautious of those who take more than they give. Yeah, and that's kind of what led me to this tower moment of giving and giving and giving, which is what a lot of empaths and highly sensitive people do. We tend to overgive and overfunction. We have to hold our hands up and tell the truth to ourselves and say that is controlling. You're trying to control outcomes, and you have to let go of that and recognise that you give because you want to. You give because you want to. I mean, some people can be quite entitled, can't they? They think they're entitled to you or your energy or your gifts, but actually it's up to you how much of you and how much of your gifts and how much of your time and energy you give to people. There's a boundary there. And maybe if you've been available to people all the time, when you start to set boundaries and say no to people, they won't like it. But the only people that don't like it are the people that are invested in you not having boundaries, so they can take from you. There's that saying, isn't there, that givers have to set boundaries because takers rarely do. And that is true. But there's 3 friends there. And that's also making me think we're in a toxic situation with people. There is always 3 people, but this is called triangulation. Someone is the victim, someone is the rescuer, someone is the perpetrator. They're all a bit squished on that. Well, it's a 2-seater sofa, isn't it? But this one closest to us with the ponytail looks like she's the victim. The other 2 look like they're gossiping about her. She looks like she's feeling left out, actually, doesn't she? She's drained her wine. They've still got wine, but she's drunk all hers. Yeah, I don't know. Are you around any toxic people that you feel are taking more than they give? I mean, you just got to exit left from those relationships because they will drain you dry. They'll bleed you dry, those people. They don't care about you. It's all about them and what they want and their needs. And, yeah, they're not friends. They're not friends. You often hear celebrities saying that they find it hard to make friends because they doubt people's intentions. Like, are you friends with me because you like me, or are you friends with me because what you can get out of me? But I think that applies in the real world too. Do you? Anyway, that's part one of our little card pull. We shall come back and revisit this again at another time, but I hope you found that useful. If you'd like an intuitive reading, I'll put a link in the comments below. And yeah, I'd like to be able to, and we can use this card deck. I mean, I've got loads of card decks, but I particularly like this one because I feel like it's, I feel like the imagery and the words together are quite powerful, and they speak to your intuition, so get good messages from them. Okay, everyone, have a lovely day. Speak to you soon. Bye for now.